What's up, everyone? I'm Dotsky, and today I'm doing a track breakdown of a remix I did for Blonde Maze. Yeah, it was a really cool project to work on, and yeah, I'm excited to show you how I made it. So before I start, I'll just play the second drop here a bit so that you know what we're talking about. Nice. All right, yeah, I have the extended here in the same project, but today we can just focus on the radio edits. So chords, I basically kept the same. I got the MIDI from them, but I didn't use much of the chord stems actually. I made my own sounds in Diva, and then I put them through this pedal I have called Shallow Waters by Fairfield Circuitry, I think. It creates this very like lo-fi tape. It's like a tape emulation tool, and it's a mono pedal. So I took these chords through it twice and shifted one left, one right. Yeah, and then I have some this is like a top layer, and this is like a low mid layer, and then a sub. Actually, this sub layer is pretty low. I'll show you how it sounds with everything else. So that's a pretty subtle move, but in the first part, I have this upper F that it's around a bit over 100 hertz, I think. Yeah, or it's 93 hertz. I can see it here. So that's pretty high for a sub. But then it's really nice when you play the same note with one octave down. 45 hertz, so it creates a bit more of a progression. And then the bass. So it consists of two layers. One I think is it's a saw wave. Sometimes I like using saw waves for the bass because they have more harmonics, sound warmer. But if you want a cleaner sub, then other frequencies other waveforms can be better. And this one is actually pretty interesting. This is basically I bought like an Arturia keyboard, I think. And then I got the like intro version of their analog stuff. Now I just downloaded it for fun, went through the presets, but this one is so good, bass Selm, and I use this one in actually like every other track I'm now working on. I'll show you actually how it sounds without all the processing. And then with so you can hear that there's a lot of lows taken out, but it's also a lot more punchy. I basically just automated the gain, 6 dB on every note. And then I'm also limiting it in the end to just shave off that transient a bit. Yeah, because also some notes here hit harder than others, so this limiter kind of balances it out. Yeah, and then on the bass bus together, more EQs. I like to EQ in series, so if I hear one thing that I want to change, I do that change in an EQ, dip this just a bit, and then I leave it. I never go back and change the same EQ. I just add another one. It can be a bit chaotic, but then you're always moving forward. Then you're not overthinking your decisions. Yeah, and what's interesting about these bass notes is that I had a really hard time to make it a bit more melancholic, like my sound is, because this track is in major. So I'll show you the these are the chords, and the bass of the chords goes F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. But I really liked this D sharp note, because that's actually the minor, relative minor, and yeah, I really tried to make it fit in there, and the solution was to kind of start off there and then go back to the F sharp. So I'll play the sub and the chords. Yeah, so this note is actually outside of the chord, but leaving it here just sounds a bit too happy to me. I wanted to introduce just a bit of melancholy there. But then, keeping it all the way here also didn't work. Because this song is definitely around this. It's written in the F sharp key, and the vocal, it doesn't work too well with this note. Yeah, and then the lead. So first off, we have this rhythm layer. That's just doing 16th, and that's kind of the foundation of the track. You hear it here in the beginning. Sending my heart off to sea, and what a nightmare it would be to shut my... Yeah, and I have that one grouped in this lead group. The rhythm with the main ARP lead, which I recorded with my Moog M32. Yeah, and the magic definitely lies in these tiny variations of the melody. So this one you see in white is kind of the main melody. And then in the verse, it's very weak here. But I'm kind of keeping the suspension, having this bass on just one note.
I find it hard enough to sleep, sending my heart off to sea, and what a nightmare it would be to shut my eyes and never
Yeah, it is there in the background. This part is more focused on the vocal, but it is building there in the background. And then this third variation. It's also a bit more melancholic, where it goes down to the F, and this is over a chord that stays on the F sharp. So playing an F over an F sharp is pretty dissonant, but yeah, the track kind of needed that dissonance. So here, like, this part is really long. The vocal ends here, and it's 32 seconds. You can see here on the bottom of just the arp and stuff before the beat comes in. So the variations there really tell the story. Yeah, I think actually, yeah, here, these two. This is the first time we're actually hearing, you know, this one. So, yeah. Yeah, that one plays 3 times. Actually, yeah, I'm doing 3 times, and then it's doing this back and forth with this more melancholy one here in the end. And the process on the Moog, I'll play you without. Yeah, so pretty raw. So I'm just doing compression on the initial signal, a lot of ping pong delay, more compression. Just, you know, basics. Then soothing it out. This 1K range can get pretty harsh on the Moog. Yeah, and then here in the lead group, there's a lot more effects. I track spacing it to the vocal, so whenever the vocal plays, there's the lead gets pushed down a bit. But I'm keeping above 1K in the Moog, and that means that the kind of air of the sound stays, which makes it less noticeable that the low mids are getting dipped. Yeah, and just more EQs, you know, just small changes over time, because you hear that something is a bit dissonant. And then you might notice that this lead is sounding pretty dry. That's because my process with reverb is I'm using an external reverb called Meris Mercury 7. It's modeled after the Blade Runner kind of sound, so it's very nice. And this is basically a recording of the send. There's like all of these sounds. But the lead definitely has a lot there. Without the reverb, it just sounds dead. And yeah, this reverb I'm EQing a shit ton, because I really like the airiness of the reverb. But yeah, if you're gonna have a lot of reverb in your track, then you really need to pull those mids down, not make it blurry. So yeah, I'll play you with the processing. Yeah, so it is also a lot louder. Yeah, so what's happening here? Yeah, like I said, a lot of the mids getting pulled down. But I'm not just, you know, taking a big EQ, taking it all the way down, and then boom, boom, that's it. It's very like small steps. I think when we're mixing on headphones, when you're not in a pro studio, you really need to just take things slow and do small like iterations. Right, yeah, this synth fill is pretty nice. It's kind of talking with the vocal. Also, when the vocal stops, then this one comes back. This one is actually muted. Yeah, some frequency modulation on it. Just to control the harshness of it Yeah, this one gets pushed up more than this one here towards the end, because this is like part of the build-up. Yeah, it is just 2 notes. A crystallizer I like a lot. Creates these like, just use the default preset on crystallizer, and it creates these like reverse delays. All turned off. This kind of blurs out the whole signal. Yeah, I think this is just a, yeah, a lot of glide on it, and a modulated filter. So to really create movement in it, it's gliding with the filter and it's gliding with the glide, with the pitch. And I did actually include some of the original chord stems. So I think this one is super like heavenly. The whole track kind of opens up with this one. But it's not something you would necessarily notice. It's more like just creating that big atmosphere. And it's EQ'd quite a lot, I think, to make it fit with these. Alright, yeah, then just made a noise. I started making my own like noise uplifters. They're all very short that you can find on Splice and stuff, so. And it's nice to have that control. So just automating a filter and volume. And then yeah, there's a lot of tiny things going on in the like atmosphere. So these are from the original stem, just the effects. Yeah, so I used them to kind of sprinkle in some interest over time, and I think a lot of them have this delay set at 100%, so thirds, ping pong, and 100, which creates this like, yeah, the ping pong thing.
I find it hard.
Okay, this one actually doesn't. Yeah, and then these ones. Yeah, so it's a ping pong and crystallizer. I'm just controlling it a bit. So I'll play this sound without the delays. Yeah, I think this was from the guitar stem actually. I just thought this part was pretty cool, so then I just cut it and add some delay on it. Really subtle, but the track comes alive with these kinds of things. Alright, and finally the drums. I think what most stands out about these drums is these sounds I call the water group. So this one I think is just a kick. I'll turn off things here. Yeah, it's a kick. That's filtered, and then I have the ping pong delay. So just these tiny sprinkles are coming through, and then I'm just modulating that a lot with these filters. Just presets on Phase Mistress and Filter Freak. And then I felt that this one wasn't like carrying it off because it is so simple. I added this one. And this is just some perk loop with delay, and then yeah, it's also getting modulated. I started making my own kicks, and I prefer Kick Ninja over Kick 2 because yeah, Kick 2 has this logarithmic scale which just fucks with my head. Yeah, my kicks are very simple. I just need the basics, so this one does it well. And yeah, a lot of EQing I think on this one. I'll show you what it sounds without any effects. And then with. So it's pretty subby, pretty clicky, but that knock is gone. I think the best kicks are the ones you don't notice in a mix, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. Alright, and toms. Actually, yeah, just kick samples that are pitched up. Yeah, I like the drum bus on my kicks. It adds a nice thump to them, so that you don't need too much like sub information. And then this that you can't really hear, like a fill. Shakers. Nothing too interesting here. And then what's more interesting arrangement wise is that I'm saving the clap until like here in the second drop. So not even when the second drop hits, but like after 10 seconds of the second drop. But that just creates such a nice feeling because you've been waiting for that clap the whole track. The first drop doesn't have a clap. And then second drop. Oh yeah, second drop has these huge rides. And also more tops. It's kind of yeah, because we have the ARP and stuff, so we need to match that energy. So if I play the drum bus with the lead, we'll see. Pretty chill, but then and then finally the clap. Yeah, and the vocal I actually didn't do much with.
I find it hard.
The original had like a verse, chorus. I just, had made more of a DJ version with just the vocals here, and then repeating it a bit throughout. And here in the beginning there is some vocal, but it is more like the atmosphere, like the presence of the vocal, but not actual words. Oh yeah, and then the master. So basically, yeah, this is not the mastered version you're hearing. Polarized had it mastered, but this is I always mix into this. So I'll play it with and without. So this is tape saturation really low, just not much happening, but just taking you through the algorithm. Warms up the bass nicely, and this is similar to God Particle, this kind of intelligent multi-band compressor that just makes you, if you mix into this, you just have to do a bit less work in the mix on the individual elements, which is nice. Yo, I think that's the whole track. Thanks so much for watching, guys. You can follow me on Instagram at imdotsky. And yeah, I do one-on-one coaching on my websites. All the links are in the description. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.